pension all over the world is supposed to be a buffer that mitigates the post-work life challenges of retirees in both public and private sectors. By drawing from the pension pot, former employees are expected to sustain a decent and healthy life in retirement. This is the reason government and other employers of labor set up pension schemes to cater for the needs of the workers in the phase of their lives when they are no longer physically, mentally strong to handle the daily hassles involved in making a living. Nigeria for many years operated the defined benefit scheme until 2004, when the federal government of Nigeria came up with the pension industry reforms that heralded the Contributory Pension Scheme, CPS. At the time, the new scheme was considered the antidote to fix all the problems and imperfections of the old order. 2 decades into operating the CPS, it is obvious that while we may have taken some steps forward, we are still very far from our destination. We cannot say exactly how much is lost to pension fraud in financial times, bearing in mind that most cases are unreported or underreported. But at the EFCC, we have investigated, documented hundreds of billions of naira lost to fraud in pension industry. However, beyond the money is also the unquantifiable loss of dignity in the retiree who has to grovel and beg and even die in some instances in order to assess his contributions. It is a shame of a nation that those who have contributed their most productive years to us in various capacities have to go through hell in retirement. At the EFCC, we find that a significant chunk of the cases we encounter while investigating public sector corruption is linked to the desperate efforts of the worker to escape the pitiable conditions he sees of today's retirees. Distinguished invited guests, on Sunday, sir, I was in the office and we were interviewing a suspect. It may interest you to know that one of the things that he was telling me is the fact that if we took away all that we have seen, that means he is going to die. And what is it that we have seen, sir? We have seen his investment of over 15 million US dollars and over 4.5 billion naira. And he happens just to be a retired director in the public service. And that is just the fear that he is now thinking. This is not his pension anyway. But then we have to talk and talk and talk, and he has to be begging and begging and begging. But then we have to take everything, sir. Very soon, the government is going to be richer with those funds. Our mandate as the coordinating agency of the enforcement of all economic and financial crime laws in Nigeria has made the EFCC very conversant with the rot in the pension system. Our investigative activities in the subsector, especially in respect of police pension office and pension office of the head of service, as well as the military pension, among others, expose us to a mind-boggling range of fraudulent practices that cut across all players in the industry. I do not intend to go this gathering with details of the Commission's findings in these cases, many of which are already being prosecuted in courts across the country. But it suffices to say that the fault lines in the pension system, so exploited by hundreds of players to the detriment of pensioners and economy, invite hard questions about how easily the system is being compromised. We worry about the quality of regulation, the fidelity of pension managers, and the inefficiency of the management of pension assets, which have grave consequences for the national economy. Not to talk about the perception of Nigeria as a country where anything criminal is possible. All of these provided the impetus for the national compensation and concerted action from everyone involved in pension management and regulation. It is our belief that in pooling our resources and expertise together, we can break the cycle of fraud, inefficiency, and mutual distrust in the Nigerian pension system. This, in a nutshell, is the reason we are gathered here this morning, to look at ourselves in the mirror, tell ourselves the truth, and design a pathway into the future we envision for our post-service lives. I have no illusion that the task will be easy, but looking across the hall, I can see the DG and other distinguished invited guests. I'm encouraged by the rare assemblage of some of the best minds in the pension industry and the strong presence of actors in policy-making position in government. Do I worry that this may end up as another talk shop? No, I do not. I'm convinced that rising from this summit, we can no longer be content to live as hostages of past failures. We must accept and faithfully discharge the responsibilities that will be bestowed on us to tackle the identified challenges, however daunting they may be. I'm fully persuaded that the turnaround of the Nigerian pension system requires a broad national consensus, which may start with the maximization of the impact of this summit. At the EFCC, while we are actualizing our preventive mandate of this summit, by this summit, among other programs soon to be rolled out, we will continue to vigorously enforce all laws against fraud in Nigeria. I assure you that we are both willing and able to do all that is necessary today to ensure that tomorrow, when we all cross to the other side of the road in retirement, we will truly live the life of models in the PFA, adverts, and commercials. Indeed, I'm extremely optimistic that the reforms in the pension administration and fraud prevention that will be the natural outcomes of this summit will be urgently implemented by all stakeholders for the instant and sustained benefit of everyone. I will not conclude, distinguished invited guests, without I wishing very sincerely and thanking the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and my elder brother, Mr. Boss Mustafa, who is carrying the commitment of the government of Mr. President to this summit by personally giving the EFCC all the requisite support to drive these initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you one thing that is incontestable as far as Mr. President is concerned, and it is that when it comes to the fight against economic and financial crimes, there is no deficit of political will to take hard decisions and, of course, difficult ones. I therefore invite participants to grave for not to grave for sound bites that attract monetary applauses, but to reach deep into the treasure troves of knowledge and come up with pragmatic programs and policy recommendations that will ultimately endanger significant improvement in service delivery and eliminate the gaps currently being exploited by the negative actors in the pension system. We owe that to the hapless pensioner out there who we may ourselves become tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, let me reiterate that the sole objective driving this initiative, our sole dream, is for Nigeria to have a pension system that is transparent, accountable, and responsive to the needs of its most important, most vulnerable stakeholder, the pensioner. Nigeria and Nigerians look forward to the day when retirees in both the public and private sector will take access to their pension entitlements for granted. That is the task that must be accomplished. Failure is not an option. Let us all join hands to eradicate pension fraud in Nigeria. And always remember that when you cross the line, the EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Please, another round of applause for him.
Thanks for checking out Symphony on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.